Hi there, welcome to Tarot Land Soap Opera. We're going to see what Gemini energy is doing out there in the cosmos today and how that might be affecting us down here. We all have free will. We can either choose to harness positive, high vibrational Gemini energy, or we can choose to, I don't know, hang on to shadowy Gemini energy. Gemini energy is air sign energy of the mind. You know, it's how we flirt and communicate to have love connections, and we can either do that for manipulative purposes or we're actually coming from faith and hope and belief. And we can either use our Gemini energy to believe we can manifest our dreams into reality, or we try to create illusions because we don't believe that. So, you're either operating from hope and faith and love and trusting in the divine, or you are not trusting in those things and you don't believe you can do those things, and you'll try to create illusions with other people. So the top row is going to be people in positive Gemini energy. The bottom row is going to be those people in shadowy Gemini energy. So in shadowy Gemini energy, people would use those same aspects of their mind to communicate with other people and flirt with other people, but they're doing it from a manipulative purpose. They're trying to create the illusion that that they're going to move forward in relationships, but it's more of an illusion. They have fear and insecurity of moving forward and stepping outside their comfort zone of learning and growing and changing, because they still have some, I don't know, fears, insecurities, self-limiting beliefs that they haven't overcome, or they just choose to be selfish and greedy and lazy, one or the other. But the top row, we have the Six of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, the King of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, and the reason is, for the reading for the top row, is because of the Four of Cups. So, there might have been someone in your life who you offered love to, but they're so focused on the relationships of the past that didn't work out that they don't accept the energy of love. They may choose to want to be in more triangulated relationships. That way they can kind of be passive aggressive and emotionally manipulative and create illusions in relationships because they don't trust love. So, because of that, positive Gemini energy would like people to find balance within themselves. You could look at these two aspects of self as being like, get balance between your heart and your mind, get balance between your 3D world and your hopes and beliefs and your future and your imagination, and give time, energy, and resources to all aspects of yourself. Your free will. We've all got fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs. It's not that we ignore those things. It does get some of our time, energy, and effort, but we also have to give our time, energy, and effort to believing in ourselves, continuing to treat ourselves with compassion and respect and forgiveness. That if we're dealing with people in relationships who choose to ignore our love, well, that's their free will choice. We're going to maintain our own balance so that we, oops, these got out of order, can come from that pure, innocent, believing nature of love, so that we can continue to take bold, confident Aries action in our life. And we're maybe going to hold back from people who ignore our love. People who are hoping that by maybe ignoring our love that we'll take action towards them and make them a love offer to have more of a transactional relationship where they give us that, this and that. It's not really based on love. They're hoping that if they hold back from you, or that if they ignore your love offer, that you'll cling to them and that you won't keep moving forward in your life, that your attention will still be focused on them. And I think what this is saying is, find your balance, wish them peace, Yes, you might be attracted to them, but hold back from them because this person ignores love. They want to be more an emotionally manipulative type relationship. They might be ignoring love because they're still focused on relationships of the past that didn't work out. They're not ready to move forward. And so the universe is saying, take take this as an opportunity. You can take creative, inspired action in your life. Keep moving forward in the energy of truth. Being in a relationship with someone who ignores love because they still haven't dealt with relationships of the past that didn't work out, or they're focused on other people from their past, or they like to only be in relationships if they can be emotionally manipulative and passive aggressive and play you off of friends and family. You deserve more than that. The justice you deserve in your life is to have relationships with people who are loving and kind and respectful and reciprocal, who have self discipline, who have hope and faith and belief. And people who focus on the relationships of the past, they don't have hope, faith, and belief. That's why they're scared to move forward and take creative action and truth. The truth is, we've all grown and matured in our life and thrive best in the energy of love and respect and kindness and compassion and forgiveness. And people who ignore love don't trust that. They've got a lot of maturing to do within themselves to believe that they can withstand. They're so afraid that they might be hurt in the future, they're unwilling to align with the energy of love. So if the universe showed you that about some people, go ahead and take this opportunity because the universe has a plan for your life. Maybe see the truth that this person is immature. If they haven't learned to offer themselves the love and compassion and forgiveness that they need to overcome relationships of the past that didn't work out, that they maybe dealt with people in the past who are manipulative and passive aggressive, and they're afraid that other people will do that to them in the future. Well, they haven't learned to mature themselves. We have to learn how to parent ourselves and treat us the way we wish other people would. And when we treat ourselves with love and compassion, forgiveness and respect, regardless of what anyone else in the world decides to do or treat us, we mature ourselves. And then we become more, honoring and respectful of ourselves. And when we do that, we're able to stand in that inner youthful truth to protect our future. We're not afraid of the future. We want to protect our future. This person probably, if they were to move, they're so afraid of being emotionally confused or thinking, oh, don't I have all these other options? Can't I be in relationships with other people? Well, yeah, you can. Go enjoy. If you can't see the truth and see all the emotional possibilities that could come into your life from healing, then, positive Gemini energy would say, keep moving forward. You don't want to be with people in your future who create the illusion that they've healed, who try to emotionally confuse you to stop you from healing because they have a lot of emotional confusion about healing from the past. They maybe don't want to meditate on the truth about themselves and about others in the past. Those people could have a lot of stress and anxiety about healing issues from the past. Here we go from 4 swords to 9 swords, so a 5 of swords at play, which is mental conflict. Maybe this type of person that you've been dealing with has an energy about them of wanting to win at all costs. They'll ignore your love, hoping you'll come take action towards them. They're going to hold back from you. They're not going to open up. They want things to be their way in the relationship. Because otherwise, in order for them to move forward and move forward in a positive relationship with you, they would have to see through their the fact that they kind of create illusions in relationship, like, oh yeah, I'm willing to move forward and it'll be a great relationship, but really they're not, because they'd have to be willing to see the truth that they've had an energy about them of wanting to win at all costs and not caring who gets hurt because they're so afraid of being hurt. You know, they'd have to deal with all the stress and anxiety they have. You know, someone's all 9 of Swords up in their head. There's only 1 cup of love down in their heart. They live so much up in their head in fear and stress and anxiety, maybe about love itself, that they're really scared to move forward in love because they're so afraid it's just an illusion. You know, we're meant to learn our lessons from past life experiences and kind of mature ourselves, you know, so that we're not sitting in stress and anxiety. Put in our time, energy, and effort from the relationships of the past. What is it about those relationships of the past? Why didn't they work? You know, some people think it all had to do with them. It had something to say about their worth and value, and it doesn't. Everybody has some fears, some insecurity, some selfishness, some greed. Maybe this person had dealt with people in their past who were emotionally manipulative, passive aggressive, and it really caused this person some emotional confusion. But maybe they don't want to look at the truth about some of those people from their past. Maybe those were people in their family foundation, and it would really emotionally destabilize them to kind of just even acknowledge the truth that some of the people they grew up with were emotionally manipulative and passive aggressive. You know, the thought of meditating on the truth causes them a lot of stress and anxiety. You know, we can only guess at what these people are doing. You know, why don't they speak their truth? Why do they have so much stress and anxiety about learning their lessons from the past and moving forward? Why do they have so much stress and anxiety about using their time, energy, and effort to stand in their truth and power? Maybe they don't, something about their dynamics or their family dynamics or their foundational dynamics, you know, prevent them and causes them a lot of anxiety about speaking their truth. Maybe because in the past they ignored people's love offers and they maybe decided to have a new intimate beginning because the truth is they were kind of immature and felt there was someone that they viewed as an emotional option that they thought they could heal things with. But now they're stressed because you're moving forward and you are speaking your truth. You know, again, this person might use their resources to live more from their mind and their heart. You know, the King of Swords is kind of like the judge, the boss, the guardian. You know, people who are really afraid of moving forward and listening to their intuition and dealing with their emotions and healing, their mind controls their life. You know, it's like a defensive mechanism. It's like, no, we're not going to listen to our heart. We're not going to have hope. We're not going to have faith. Because if we were to do all that, we have to do all this work, and it causes us a lot of stress and anxiety for us to speak our truth, to stand in our power. We'd have to cut out things in our life that aren't aligned with our truth and our vision, and maybe that would disrupt some foundations. They would have to move away from some old foundations that they have maybe been really invested in. They'd have to be willing to detach from those foundations to become independent. And maybe this person is unwilling to do all of that. So instead, they're going to try to create an illusion that they've healed, but the fact is they're really stressed about speaking their truth. So instead, they decide to offer their resources to live from their mind. They have a lack mentality. They don't believe they have the emotional ability, the mental ability, the creative, inspired, whatever resources to move forward in their life. Maybe they're very codependent on whatever foundation it is that they'd have to detach from. Maybe they're very codependent on the world, what the world thinks of them, you know? And if they haven't learned to become independent, where they're willing to stand in that inner youthful, hopeful nature of belief, well, then they're always going to kind of carry this lack mentality. If you're so codependent on the world or foundations outside of you for them to approve of you and deem you as having worth and value, and you're not choosing to do that for yourself, well, yeah, you know, this type of person that you might have been dealing with maybe decided to leave you out in the cold and caused you regret, hoping that if they did that again, that you'd come be in a relationship with them the way they want to do it. But if you're someone who wants to learn and grow and expand in love and hope and faith, you're listening to your intuition, and you probably know all of this stuff about this person. You know that this person is like in two minds about things. And there's that Bible verse that says that a house divided against itself can't stand. You know, it's unstable. You can't act one way with people out in the world and feel another way inside and kind of present a facade, you know, without it causing your own inner foundation to be unstable. And if these people that you were dealing with, you know, aren't coming from the energy of love, what are they growing their life on? Are they growing it on fear, insecurity, pride, ego, image? It's all about my status. Or are they just, you know, in denial of the fact that they need to grow themselves up? Maybe they're just immature and they think life and relationships are all about illusion. Maybe they don't even believe in the energy of love and they just think everybody creates illusion in life. And you probably also know that this person juggles, that they don't really invest for the ship of dreams to come into reality. You know, we get in relationships and the water represents the emotional, intuitive realm. And we get in relationships and we imagine and we're thinking about what could be. This person gets in relationships too, but they juggle. They don't really invest for it to come into reality. Maybe because of a mother figure in their past, a Scorpio in their past. You know, they're in two minds and juggle about being in their deep emotions. This is Scorpio water sign energy. It's like the deepest emotions we can have. Maybe because people in their past kept them, you know, whatever the reason was of their past, maybe about how they grew up and how people personified love to them. They're afraid of being in the energy of love because they're afraid it'll be a repeat of the past. Maybe they're so afraid of people juggling them, people kind of being in denial of the truth, creating emotional confusion. They're afraid that'll happen, so they do the exact same thing. Maybe there was a Scorpio or someone from their past that they still are hung up on. Well, I guess if this person that you were involved with turned their back on holding on to a relationship with you because they decided they wanted to go have maybe intimacy with someone from their past where they could exchange resources, which can be money, hugs and kisses, whatever it was, you know, again, you know, we had the Page of Swords and the Seven of Cups. Maybe this person ignored your love offer because someone offered them a new intimate beginning. So they decided, you know, in their immature kind of way of viewing the world, that I view this person as an option and I hope I can heal things with them. And why would anybody maybe be in a loving relationship with people who are in positive Gemini energy, who believe they can manifest their dreams into reality, have love and hope and faith, because this person is really stressed about learning their lessons and speaking their truth and making the decisions in their life they have to make, which would require that they detach from some old foundations. And they don't want to do that. So instead, they decided, you know what? I'm going to ignore your love offer because I'm not willing to do what it takes to move forward. I still live in the illusion that I can kind of just keep repeating the past patterns of the past, the way I've always done things, maybe being emotionally cold and distant. Use maybe my sexuality to, maybe that's how they view relationships, as they're more transactional. Well, I just give you this and you give me that. I offer a small amount of emotion and have intimacy with you, but I hold back and I don't really open up and I don't want to work together cooperatively and I don't want to move forward because that would require I walk away from some old ways of being. It means I have to learn lessons from the past to grow and learn and mature, and this person maybe doesn't want to do any of that. Maybe this person from their past offered them a new financial beginning. So to them, living more from their mind than their heart, that made complete logical sense. So they decided to maybe move towards someone in their past, even if it's a relationship that didn't work out in the past, because the Three of Cups there and the Five of Cups means it was a relationship that didn't work out in the past. But maybe those are the type of relationships that, is part of their past pattern. Instead of being in relationships where people are loving and kind and generous, it's just like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to do that type of relationship. I'm used to being in relationships where it's kind of passive aggressive and emotionally manipulative and where people hurt me. And until they decide to stand up for themselves, they're going to keep repeating the same pattern. So they decided to go towards someone where a relationship didn't work out in the past. Maybe they're trying to, it's kind of like reliving their past. I'm going to go get in relationships with people of my past, and this time I'm going to make them love me. Until they learn to love themselves so that they don't have to kind of keep repeating those patterns of the past to make those type of people love them, they're going to keep repeating it. But they decided to go towards someone where things didn't work out in the past, and they're going to hide the fact that they're in two minds and that they're juggling love and working together with people from a pure, innocent, emotional nature. The Six of Cups is like where both people are coming from an emotional foundation. They're not sure, do I want to do that kind of relationship, or do I maybe want to get in a relationship with someone who reminds me of love or a mother figure of my past, or how I perceived love in my past? I'm still in two minds. Is the people who maybe ignored love from me in the past, who I thought loved me, was that love? And until they see that people in their past were in denial of the truth and juggled and ignored love and weren't speaking the truth and weren't loving and respectful and balanced and kind, all the time, people in triangulated relationships will mess with your head. They'll seem loving and kind at times, but when it suits them, they'll be emotionally manipulative and passive aggressive. And this person, instead of moving forward with you and making the free will choice to work through this with you, they chose to maybe go get in a relationship with someone like their past. And, if they haven't learned the lessons, then the universe is going to try to teach them the lessons that they need to learn. And the universe, basically in positive Gemini energy, is saying, find balance within yourself, offer peace to the past, keep taking bold, confident action. Start clinging to this as a new foundation of moving forward. Hold back from people who ignore your love. The universe is offering you a new beginning. Stand in that inner youthful nature and keep believing that as you keep moving forward, you'll see through the illusion and you'll be able to heal. Just like this person who had other people in their past who created an illusion for them, this person created an illusion for you. So, see through the illusion, heal. It is going to cause you some stress and anxiety that you are dealing with someone who wanted to win at all costs. But learn the lessons, stand in your truth and power, detach from that old foundation, deal with the regrets that this relationship didn't work out, listen to your intuition, find your balance as you move forward, keep being in the energy of love, and eventually you'll get to where, you can remember the fond memories of the past. It's a free will choice of what memories do we choose to hold on to. And eventually you'll get to where it's like, I don't even choose to focus on the unhappy memories. Everybody is where they're at. Everybody's dealing with their own fears, their insecurities, maybe their selfishness, their greed. And I accept that this person didn't chose not to be loving, kind, compassionate, respectful to me and move forward with me. I've learned my lesson from that. And I'm going to give it everything I've got to be in Libra justice energy, to keep taking creative, inspired action from an emotional foundation within myself, to keep moving forward, to have the justice and fairness and balance you deserve in your life, which is to be aligned and loving within yourself and to be in relationships with other people who are also aligned within themselves, who have also went through this process to get balanced within themselves. And when you do that, the energies around you are going to shift in your favor. You will then be able to consider what you're going to invest in. And you are going to speak the truth and move forward in the energy of love. And you will walk away from those old ways of thinking, believing, perceiving, relationships, jobs that are never going to bring you emotional wish fulfillment. And the reason why is dealing with some of those people like that, they're unwilling to walk away from the old ways of being. So they're going to keep repeating the same old patterns until they've learned this lesson for themselves. And they're not going to learn the lesson if people keep enabling their poor behavior. So you're going to walk away to move forward, to have a long-term, stable, practical plan in the Six of Swords of moving away from people who have an energy of either a lot of mental conflict or who seem to want to win at all costs and they don't care who they hurt. We need to see through that illusion. We know we might have worked with people for a long time in a relationship, but when push came to shove, we found out that person didn't care who they hurt. Either out of their fear, their insecurity, their selfishness, their greed. If someone made them a financial offer where they could go take sexual action towards that person and exchange financial resources with them, they decided, yeah, that appeals to me. I'm going to ignore love from people who harness positive Gemini energy because they apparently don't either believe in the power of love or believe they can manifest their dreams. So you're going to move forward, and you, in Libra Taurus energy, are going to give birth to a new life. Because having gone through this whole process, you've learned to treat yourself in a loving, kind, respectful manner. And that's how you treat other people. And because you treat yourself that way and you treat others that way, you expect other people to treat you that way. And when they don't, you wish them peace and you move forward. You want to be with other people who have learned to be creative and inspired and loving and hopeful and believing, who are dedicated, committed, balanced. Because in your positive Gemini energy, you do believe you have all the resources to manifest your dreams into reality. And in positive Capricorn energy, you are going to build your legacy. Being in Leo energy, emotionally brave, confident, intuitive, step into the spotlight of your own life. Listening to your heart and intuition about people who were deceptive and manipulative within a home, a relationship, and a marriage that was either a happy family or had that potential, because this person who's deceptive and manipulative in relationships like that, they don't see things from the bigger picture in Aquarius energy. It's all about them. Everybody's supposed to orient around them. They're supposed to be the shining star. If everyone doesn't orient around them, then if someone else makes them an offer, because they don't see things from the bigger picture. Aquarius energy is about seeing things from the bigger picture, willing to step outside of the box, willing to step outside of societal norms. This person, for one thing, could be very 3D focused, that it's all about looking like we're happy and everything. So long as they're the center of attention, they maybe like to triangulate relationships. I like to be passive aggressive. I like to be emotionally manipulative. I like to play you off of friends and family. So everyone orients around me. And if people in positive energy are seeing things from the bigger picture, and are willing to transform and change, this person will backstab all of this because they are not willing to change. They're like death energy. They invest in death energy. You're either building your life on love and hope and faith, which is compassionate and kind and respectful and all those good things, or you're trying to build your life on illusions, non-life-giving energy. And we got a card flipped in reverse here that's not showing itself. Judgment. This person doesn't want to be held accountable for their actions. Maybe the fact that, yes, instead of happy marriages and relationships and 10 of Cups, emotional fulfillment, where, you're working together with others so that the whole group can have emotional wish fulfillment, having hope and faith and belief. This person's like, no, I don't believe in that. I'm a 10 of Pentacles person. It's all about me. It's all about my foundation. It's all about my status, my image in the world, or it's just all about money. Maybe it's not about love. I only work together with people for as long as it benefits me. Some of you could work in relationships with these people for a really long time, maybe decades, before, you've gotten to the point where you want to move forward and keep transforming and growing. And this person's like, nope, we'll put an end to that. Because I never planned to learn or grow or expand. So long as everything stayed the way it's always been, the way I want things to be, the way I operate my foundation, my worldly existence, what I deem valuable and worthy, which might be my image, it might be my status, it might be, maybe they're very materialistic and selfish, but they don't want to make changes to their foundation. They don't want their foundation to be judged. They don't want to detach from that old foundational way of being. So, I guess the advice is hold back from people like that. Let's see about the people in shadowy energy. Shadowy Gemini energy is whispering in people's ears saying, have your earthly belief system. Taurus Hierophant energy. It could be positive, but let's not be positive. Let's not have hope and faith and belief and the power of love and trust the divine. It's all about the 3D world, because Taurus energy is earth sign energy. So if it's in shadow, it can be all about image and status and looking like a pillar of community. Let's keep ignoring love. Let's keep making relationships, just, working together with people to maintain our status and our image and how we present to the world. And why would they do that? Because the Taurus Hierophant represents You know, kind of like the government structure of rules and regulations within our own mind of how we view ourselves, how we view the world. Maybe these people in shadowy Gemini energy don't believe in love. You know, they think everybody is emotionally manipulative and passive aggressive and everybody's creating an illusion. It's all just a 3D game of presentation. It's all about image and status. And these people might decide to make an offer to someone or anybody in the world who is also ignoring love. Taurus energy is represented by their symbol is the bull sign symbol. Very stubborn, very prideful, unwilling to budge or move. Again, if this person grew up, or that's how they think life is, that, oh no, we're supposed to be in relationships with people where people ignore love, where people are kind of triangulated and passive aggressive. Perfect. I'm going to go try to go have intimacy with those type of people because that aligns with my truth too. I turn my back on seeing my dreams come into reality because that would require that I take a leap of faith, that I have hope and faith and trust in the universe. It would require that I listen to my intuition. It would require that I be willing to learn and grow and expand and be a student of life. It would require that I maybe speak my own emotional truth about how in the past I backstabbed myself and others, and I've backstabbed having relationships that were loving and creative and inspired. Why did I backstab people like that in my life? Because I backstabbed that within myself. Because I don't trust the universe. I don't listen to my intuition. You know, it's like we all have a sixth sense, but some people don't want to, kind of like they're so disconnected from their emotions because they live so much from their mind and the 3D world that they just disregard their intuition and their sixth sense that's telling them, you should be a student of life. You should take the lessons that you were meant to learn to keep growing and learning and expanding in Aquarius energy, to see things from the bigger picture, that the divine has a plan for our life. It's meant to be more than just this 3D existence of status and image and reputation and wealth. You know, we can have all those things, but they're not the point of our life. The world, you know, tries to tell us that that is the point of our life. But the divine wants us to see things from the bigger picture, you know, that if we trust the divine, there might be people in the world who don't respect or value what you do, but the divine does. And that's what's most important. Your soul does. And maybe if they spoke their emotional truth, they would have put an end to their old foundation that is manipulative. And that manipulative foundation of just creating illusion has kind of stopped them from being able to learn their lessons and move forward in their life, of being able to see things from the bigger picture and taking creative, inspired action in the energy of Gemini love. You know, it's a free will choice every day to love ourselves, to treat ourselves with kindness and respect and compassion. You know, the Capricorn Devil card, we had that over here, but the Capricorn card is Earth sign energy too, and it looks just like this, but that talks about, you know, like almost like loving the world in a shadowy sense. You know, and it's got people chained and bound. There's more to life than just focusing everything on wealth and image and status. But I think there's some people here that, you know, I don't know, they're either in denial of the truth, don't want to speak the truth, you know, that in the past they maybe backstabbed and betrayed other people because of how they have viewed themselves and the world up until this point. And if they're unwilling to admit that, they were a fallible human being. They've become enlightened. Until this person is willing to become enlightened, the people who are susceptible to shadowy Gemini energy whispering in their ear are the people who are going to turn their back on seeing their dreams come into reality by them being willing to, in Aries energy, be bold, be confident, be willing to start new cycles in their life. And if they're their back on that within themselves, they turn their back on other people in their life who are willing to do that. And instead, these people are going to communicate to people who remind them of their past, and they're going to repeat the pattern over and over and over. And that's their free will choice. It's just that, it's kind of like living in cognitive dissonance where you're always in two minds about things because your soul, your spirit wants you to grow and learn and mature. Some people are too protective of their image, their pride, their ego to admit that they ever made a mistake. So they're going to go have a new emotional or kind of intimate beginning, probably with someone in their past or who reminds them of their past, who maybe ignored their love before, but that's maybe the type of relationships they're used to. Or if someone was in a relationship, but now someone in that relationship is ignoring love, they're hoping these other people are kind of feeling in some shadowy energy and they can go make a sexual offer towards them. And they'll repeat the same old pattern of working together with them for a while. And it can be fine. They could get married. They could stay together the rest of their life. So long as that person doesn't want them to learn or grow or expand. Let's just do life all about image and status. And, you offer me some emotion, I'll offer you some sex. And, life will be dandy. Isn't it all about illusion anyway, says shadowy Gemini energy? So, are we willing to have equal give and take in relationships, or is somebody so stubborn and prideful and maybe egotistical and so caught up and they're the boss, they're the ruler, they make the rules and regulations in the relationship? That's the type of relationship we're going to be in? Are we going to be in relationships where people are willing to apologize when they need to? Are people willing to come from that inner youthful nature of love, or do they ignore love? You offer them love and they're like, no. I'm focused on all the relationships of the past that didn't work out. Are we willing in Aries energy to take bold, confident action in our life? Or are we blazing and mentally our mind is like shouting in our ear saying, no, 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 don't move forward. You could get hurt doing that. Keep offering intimacy to people who are like your past or from your past because we're afraid of moving forward. Is our dream to be in relationships with people who hold back, who don't cooperate, who are unwilling to move forward, who don't open up, who are selfish, who are greedy? Are we going to hold back? Some people were in a relationship or a marriage, they ignored love. They could have offered love to someone else in their past, and they are defending that that's how they think their dream will come into reality. These people who are in shadowy Gemini energy maybe have been waiting for you positive people to be in fear and insecurity to take a leap of faith towards them and quit listening to your intuition, to quit moving forward. Oops, I got a message on my phone here. to quit learning and growing and expanding. And they were expecting you to come take a leap of faith towards them, to give up on all of that. So they've been sitting here waiting. Some of them might decide that they want to get mad at you. And now they might want to come offer you a new beginning. They're hoping that you feel like you missed an emotional opportunity to be in a relationship or a marriage with this person. And some of them could be waiting, have been waiting. They've been waiting for you to quit moving forward and come take a leap of faith towards them. And if they get tired of waiting, they might, I don't know, what would they say? That they would come tell you now that they want to have a new beginning with you, and they're hoping that you're in shadowy Gemini energy and that you feel you've missed an emotional opportunity with them. And if you say, you know what? I wish you peace, but I'm taking bold, confident action, and I'm holding back from people in my life who ignored love, who maybe now want to offer me a new beginning sexually, because I've seen the truth that you're immature. You want to move forward in life creating illusions. But I've healed. And I've worked through all my thoughts, and I've learned my lessons from the past, and I'm standing in my truth and power, and I'm cutting out people who aren't willing to learn their lessons and speak their truth. So unless you've learned your lessons and you're willing to speak your truth and cut out those things in your life and detach from those old foundations and deal with your regrets of the past and listen to your intuition, I'm not interested. So there you go, Gemini energies of the world. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.